Right. I think we should be good. Yeah, let's do it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the YTM show every day. I'm your host. I'm Oli. And every day I come here to share with you meaningful stories, strategies, hacks on how you could improve your life. How could you actually go from where you are now to where you want to be? And every now and then I bring a guest onto the show. I bring somebody who I believe will share these values with you. We share their tips, their strategies, what they're doing to achieve great results in their life as well. This is a movement that I'm creating. It's not just about fitness. It's really about like transforming you through your mind, really getting your mindset in a place of success. And today I've got a guest, and it doesn't happen that often because I really scrutinize my guests. Today I've got a guest. I met her, when was that? 4 weeks ago. I met her in London at the Peak Summit, which was an awesome event for fitness professionals. We met, we connected. I really love her energy. She's got a great backstory, and I'm sure she's got a lot to share with us. So I would like to welcome Chiara. Is that Chiara or Chiara?
Chiara, that's right.
Chiara, that's Italian. Yeah, Chiara to the show. Chiara, welcome to the YTM show.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Right, good. So as I was saying, we met 4 weeks ago. Was that 4 weeks?
No, time flies. I can't believe it.
Time flies. And then straight away we connected, and I really loved your story, and I reached out to you and I was like, you know what, let's do a podcast, because I think people will get some value from this transformation journey you've been on. And you being a personal trainer as well, I'm sure that there are some hacks, some strategies, some tips you could share with the audience as well. So Chiara, tell me a little bit about yourself. What's the backstory to the Chiara who is here now?
Well, thank you so much for having me, first of all. And I absolutely adore the fact that you want to create a movement of people that believe in the same values. Because I believe that creating a network of support is one of the most important things for anybody attempting a journey, a fitness journey, whatever their goal may be. In terms of my backstory, I was always a chubby kid. But I did a lot of sports, volleyball, skiing, tennis, all sorts. It's just I had a really difficult relationship with food. And growing up, I was bullied as well at school quite heavily for my weight. And also because I always, I think, being a little bit different from others and really wanting them to be happy, trying to conform to what they wanted. And I just couldn't find my own voice, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So soon enough, food became a way of coping with everything. And the more I got bullied, or the more I felt insecure and not enough about myself, the more I ate. And it all culminated in, I think it was 98 when I moved to the UK. I always wanted to move here. I absolutely love the culture. And I feel like this is my home now. So proper Italian girl now. What I didn't understand, because I was so immature as well, both emotionally and as a person growing up. I moved here when I was just out of school at 19, and I didn't have all the skills that are required, I think, to live in society, if that makes sense, because I had a very sheltered life.
Okay.
And, I didn't know how to go to the post office. I didn't know how to fend for myself. Yeah, I know how to cook, but you have to pay the bills, you have to find a job, you have to study. And that's what Britain gave to me, a new Chiara, a Chiara that can fend for herself. But with that and the adjustments to a new culture, and as well, I never had that many friends either. I want them, but it's really hard to find connection when you don't feel like you're enough, and you always try to conform as well, which is what I didn't want. I wanted to be my own person, my own voice. So I started gaining even more weight, and I was the funny girl, the best friend, loved music, hung out at the pub a lot, played a lot of pool in my younger years, went to uni, and, my lifestyle just got worse and worse and worse in terms of nutrition. And definitely I stopped training altogether, kind of had a complete rejection for the sports that I loved. And I let other people tell me that was okay, that it was okay for me to not want to do something. And just kind of, it was really weird, the more they told me I shouldn't be doing volleyball, the more I believed that was right, that was true. And I've never really been to the gym. God, I started going to the gym when I was 34. I'm 39 now, so 5 years ago. It starts from really earlier on. Anyway, I decided just carry on putting on the pounds, literally. I whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. And I attached a lot of feelings to the food as well. So it was definitely a lot of emotional eating, binge eating, and also a complete rebellion towards people that would tell me that I should lose the weight for my health. Absolute rejection for anyone, including my family and friends, that would say, oh, you need to go on a diet. Because I've always been quite big, were bigger or taller and more developed, say, than other children my age.
Yeah.
I've been put on a diet since I was about 12. And, various really weird diets. There was the cedar diet. We went to a gazillion dietitians. But when you're a kid and nobody explains to you why these things are important, or they don't give you, you're not there yet to understand that eating well and moving are two of the things that not only keep you happy, but also are good for yourself. Okay. First of all, not others.
Yeah.
Because of where I came from, Italy, it's very image-led. And I grew up throughout my teenage years feeling awkward and ugly and not enough. And, I don't necessarily blame the culture, but there was a lot of it when I was growing up. There was not a lot of support for kids my age. They were a little bit overweight. To understand how nutrition works, to understand that they're just fine the way they are, and if they want to lose the weight or get healthier, there are plenty of fantastic ways of doing it that do not require pills, random fastings, weird portions and lotions that you eat. And so for years, I think, to take it back really, I just thought of dieting as I think most people do. Enemy, absolutely atrocious meanings attached to it. Diet is a bad thing. You don't think that you've got a diet and you just need to better it. You just go on restrictive diets that half of the time don't work. And if they do, you pile on the weight again.
Yeah.
So fast forward to 34. And my brother had started losing weight because he was living with me at the time. And I was so proud of him that, we were both chubby kids, and how amazing it was that within a year he kind of transformed into the man that I always saw.
Yeah.
Because you see people in different ways than yourself.
Yeah.
But his courage, his determination, absolutely everything about the way he decided to get healthier for himself made me wanna try for real this time. Yeah. And it was I think that's when it switched. I looked at myself in the mirror one morning and I was so sick of feeling absolute shit about myself, having been told that I was overweight. I had boyfriends that would tell me you need to lose the weight or I'll leave, or you'd be just so much prettier if you just lost a few pounds. And it became so ingrained in my mind that all I was good at was being funny and nice and feeding people.
Yeah.
But I never had any real confidence. So decided that was it. Signed myself up for the gym. The first 6 months weren't fun because I wasn't ready to get a personal trainer then.
Yeah.
So I tried it like a lot of people do. You just do it on your own. You give it a bit of a go.
We all started on ourselves, right? Just doing it. Yeah.
You're doing it, but I think the moment that everything clicked for me is when I picked my personal trainer, to whom I owe so much, because it was the right fit for me, and he never gave up on me, and always guided me through the changes that I was making. And 34, started losing weight, and it was incredible. It was addictive straight off the bat. I always liked training when I was a kid, so it was amazing how easy it was to pick up that habit, but in a completely different context than from team sports. So you're on your own, you're there with your dumbbells, and He's making me do a million burpees. I'll never forget the freaking burpee circuit he put me through. And I don't think I'll ever forgive him for that. So I also am so thankful. And it took me 4 years to get to about 90 kilos. And then after that, we parted ways, and I thought I was cocky and confident and doing it on my own. And I discovered resistance training more fully, so more bodybuilding style, weights, squats, deadlifts, and that opened up a new world altogether. Just how powerful you can feel lifting weights for a woman especially. And I found a place where I belonged, and it's been my passions ever since.
That's amazing. That's a great story, and that's why I brought you on the podcast, because I mean you told me about that story when we met a couple of weeks ago, and it's really, really amazing, and at the same time as well a bit frustrating to see that the impact, the way you were brought up, and how like you were on a diet from a very early age, like 12 years old, like you were already like told things about your image, the way you are, and then you should be on the diet, and then you should be doing that. And then eventually you get to the adult world, and it's the same thing as well. And then fighting those demons, and then turn rebellious against it. And what was the, I don't know, what was the trigger, like the main thing? Because you didn't mention about like the peer pressure, you did mention about like your brother transformation, which was extremely inspiring to you. What was that triggered? You'd say that you woke up one morning, you look at yourself and be like, okay, that's it, I can't take this anymore. Was that moment when you realized that, okay, you know what, I need to do something about it? Or you had like other wake-up calls before?
I think I was so tired of people saying that I couldn't do something, because I defied a lot of opinions already. For as much as I cared about people's opinions, I took a second, and the day I decided to move to the UK, I even told my parents I'm not coming back home. Like literally, I came to the UK to say hello to my to say hello to my friends. I phoned them up. I was like, not coming back. Such was such a bad relationship with my own country and my own city.
Yeah.
And I blamed them a lot for the way I was as a person. That I couldn't speak up. In reality, you fast forward years, 20 years on in the UK. And I realized that I had my voice all along. I just didn't know how to use it. And for me, that day, I was going through a bit of a rough patch with a really lovely guy, my ex-partner at the time. And we decided to part. And I was like, I just can't look at myself in the mirror, keep going and thinking that I'm not enough, when there are people around me that actually care. And the other trigger was we lost a couple of family members to cancer, so nothing weight related, if such. But I just felt it was the right time to prove to myself first and foremost, and then to others. Let me make this clear. I did care what my family thought of me, even on a body image level. But the idea that I had was that they didn't love me for who I was just because I was fat. That was not it. It took me so long to understand that the love was there all along. Like, we're such a tight-knit family. But I wanted to show them that I could do it. And, to see my dad the first times I went back to Italy, and he was so proud that I took this step, and he could see the changes, and my mom was ecstatic. And just something simple, Ollie, like going shopping for clothes that are on trend or that are your size. And I couldn't do that as a kid. I always had to buy men's clothes, or I didn't feel confident to wear. There weren't any availability for my size anyway. So if there were always tight. So even that makes you feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
And if you're not strong enough, or if you don't have that magic moment and the right support to actually go, I want to make a change, you just kind of conform. So I conformed to wearing men's clothes, and I conformed to just be sporty all the time and not showing my figure, and not really liking what I saw in the mirror. Didn't put any makeup on. I had monobrow. Good times. The 90s.
I totally understand. I mean, I come from a similar position, but the other way, because I was extremely skinny as a kid. Like, I'm talking seriously skinny. So I know what it is when you step into the other side, and then you see like the potential you had within yourself for so many years, and you were just sitting on it, and you're like, why didn't I do it like years ago?
Yeah, that's what I always say.
And then it's an amazing feeling. And like you did mention that you train with a PT.
Yeah.
Like you started by yourself, like many people, and then eventually you start training with a PT who taught you a lot about weight loss. I mean, you achieved great results. From 120, you went to 90 kilos.
First,
So that's 30 kilos with PT, which is absolutely amazing. Now, walk me through your weight loss journey, because everybody got the transformation journey. For example, for me, when I started training, I lacked self-confidence a lot. So I started training because I wanted to be not only tall, but have a presence. I didn't want to be the tall, skinny guy. So I went in there. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, reading magazines, online, Google, whatever it is, trying to figure out my way, spend money on some bullshit supplements. I did all this crap. And then eventually, like, yeah, you know what I mean? We all did that, got injured in the process. And then at some point I realized that, you know what? I can't be like those guys. I've got to be me. I've got to listen to myself, listen to my body. And then from that moment, I realized I was doing it for me. I didn't want to look like the guys I was seeing on magazines or whatever it is. And I started obviously becoming more methodical in terms of the approach of like training, nutrition, the whole shebang, and really like being patient, because I was always giving myself deadlines and big goals. I was like, I need to be like, 80 kgs by the end of next month. When I made the switch, I started thinking of like, I want to actually being at a healthy state for the rest of my life. And that was a big, big change for me. And I'm still doing it now. Like, even when I prepare for a competition or whatever it is, I'm always looking at, down the line is me being healthy, being a model for my son and all these kind of things. So the question to it, obviously it was a lot of backstory, but the question was like, what was the biggest change mentally for you when you went from like 120 to 90 kilos, the first part of your transformation with your PT?
I think the first part was seeing the weight go down, because I've never seen it go down that way. And even when I stalled, because obviously I trained 2 years with my PT,
okay.
So the bulk of my weight came off with him.
Yeah.
And it was a long road, because you think, you start, you even see the transformation sometimes in the magazines, and this is where it's positive and negative. Some people do it in 6 months, and you think, why am I not like that? Why can't I get the body that I want in 6 months, 2 months, 3 months? And the reality is we're all different individuals. Our body has the same mechanics, but adapts differently than our fellow humans. And therefore we should respect the journey. Mindset-wise, I think the biggest switch was getting addicted to feeling better, to running. I never run before. And then I went to running in a 5K, which for me was massive. My PT was like, you should run a 10K. I know you can run a 10K. And I'm like, mate, I'm just happy to run 5. I never run before in my life. It was one of the parts in the warm-up that I would always skip. It was like, I'm not running. Picking up a dumbbell and feeling strong. And it's not been easy, don't get me wrong. Absolutely. Every second of it was hard work mentally to just keep eating the portion that I was supposed to be eating, to consciously and constantly make the right choice for me. So seeing food as functional as not as comfort was a massive switch for me.
Yeah.
But definitely training was the biggest help for me. Training first, all the nutrition thing, proper one, knowing about macros, calories came way after. We didn't really tackle it that much with my personal trainer. We went really into HIIT training and resistance and circuits, which were playing perfectly into my strengths. I love things like that because it has to push you.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to give up on myself. The switch was, I do not want to give up on myself, and I'm doing this for me and not anybody else. And that allowed me to carry on and just develop my style of training. And then the learning came way after. The learning came probably more in the past couple of years, especially last year, when I again looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, you've been sitting on 80 kilos now for a year or so. I want to look like the girls in the magazine. At first I thought that was it. I wanted to look like the women in the magazine are 40 and have abs, and I didn't know what it took to get there. And now my mindset has shifted again, and all I want to be is healthy, look in the mirror and be happy with myself, make sure that my mindset is positive, because I know myself and I tend to be negative at times, and really come down hard on everything I do. And there's no worse judge than yourself, really. No matter, I always thought it was others, but no, it's yourself. And I don't want to find myself in the place that was a couple of years ago when you lost the weight, you bought all the clothes, and then suddenly you find yourself with no goal. I didn't necessarily need to lose any more weight if I didn't want to. So then what's next? Why am I going training? What's my why? My why became, right, I'm going to run 10K, and I'm going to lift more weight, and I'm going to learn more about nutrition, and I'm going to share my story. It was last year, end of 2017, April, I decided to start my blog up. And that allowed me to finally find my voice, if that makes sense.
That's good. That's fantastic. And I really love the part where you say that you really played on your strengths at the beginning of training, because you went straight with like the HIIT training and really get moving, because you had the background of sports, you love this kind of stuff, compared to obviously the conventional wisdom, which is, I need to lose weight, I need to stop eating.
Stop eating.
The vast majority of people are doing. Yeah, exactly. So you went with something that you loved, and obviously keep getting active, keep moving, and then obviously after that came the nutrition and everything. Like, you started, and that's what I always say, even to my clients. I'm like, till you here, you started. Okay, that's what matters. You took the first step. There will be many other things coming up, but you took the first step. You got off the couch and be like, you know what, fuck it, I need to make a change. So that's something which is, most people are, I think they're spending too much time trying to prepare, trying to make it perfect. Like in some cases, I want to buy my trainers, I need to buy my gym clothes, I need to get the supplements, I need to get the diet right, I need to get the training right before fucking stepping into the gym. You know what I mean? Dudes, get up, do something.
I wore my brother's t-shirt. The first day at the gym, I want to share this with everyone, because a lot can relate. I had a panic attack. I sat outside the gym looking at those freaking doors and go like, I don't know if I can do this. And you see the people that have obviously been going a little more, or at the time they were thinner. You don't know their stories. You just see the image there.
Yes, you see the image. You see the end product.
You see the end product there. They're like, oh my God. And I had a panic attack, and I met my trainer there, Jamie.
Yeah.
He was awesome, put me right at ease. And for the next 2 years, all I did was blindfolds, and literally I didn't look at anybody else but him. Like, he was my focus, because sometimes it was hard, because everybody thinks that people are really judging you at the gym. And for one idiot that does that, there's 5,000 in there that don't give a flying fluff.
It's fine, I told you.
I know. Try to be a lady. And don't really care about why you're there for. A lot of people will admire you for taking that step, and most will help you.
Yes.
So what I say to my clients, take the step to come and see me at the gym. That's already a barrier you've broken. And then every step after that is taking you closer to your goal, whatever that is.
Absolutely. I can totally relate to that. Take the first step. That's it. Once you do that, like, it's a different universe. And I know people say gym can be intimidating. I wrote a blog about that. Even some grown up, they were like, I don't feel the whole gym thing. It's full of guys who are screaming and muscles. Like, dude, like the biggest guy in the gym is usually the nicest.
Yeah.
And
to help and give you advice. And
yes.
Form, and I learned so much even now that I'm a personal trainer, so I'm the person that should be giving advice. But from all the guys that go to the gym and tend to bodybuild, and I really always gravitate towards the weight room, because that's where I like to play as well. And so many people go like, okay, well, why don't you engage your lats this way, like pull down, keep your elbows tucked in. I'm like, yeah, man, thank you, because sometimes you train by yourself and you don't see your own progress.
Absolutely. I'm always open, even and you as well. Like as a coach, as a personal trainer, like one, I'm always open to learn.
Absolutely.
Advice. I'm like, people take advice, but they never actually implement it. But actually take it. I try stuff all the time. If you try, it doesn't work, it's fine. You would have just, at least you tried, you know what I mean? So that's really good. I wanted to ask you a question, by the way. So on your weight loss journey, I mean, you went down from 120 to 80 kilos. You lost 40 kgs, which is absolutely amazing. 6 stones. Did you reach a point where you wanted to give up?
Yes, many times. And especially I think a lot of people can relate to this, is when you hit a plateau.
Yeah.
And until I had my personal trainer to guide me, that plateau was a blip. And a plateau could also be, I was bored of eating the same things. I didn't understand that you can have lovely food. It doesn't have to just be functional for you to go, but you can have lovely food because it's still macros. You just make it a different way.
Yeah.
And that took a lot of change, because obviously I'm Italian, I love to cook. You know, I can't take the girl out of the kitchen. Yeah. Like, I need to have good food. It was really hard. I think the biggest, I'm being honest, like when I lost the 40 kilos, I was just about 36, I reached there. And last year, 2016, 2017, I had a nervous breakdown, which brought me to, I didn't even put on weight. I just felt different. I looked different in my own eyes, and I felt less confident. And, it was really tough time, really dark days, depression-wise. Looking back now, I don't know how I got through it. But I did, which means, you can survive pretty much anything if your mind gets on board. And, I discovered mindset, and I discovered podcasts, and I discovered Jamie Alderton and Dan Meredith, who are awesome people, and they've helped me out with their books and the things that I share of the personal life, to find my voice again and really strive to go that extra mile and not only reach out to someone, because I felt so isolated, because all I became was gym. I didn't even go out anymore. It was all about the gym and not actually losing any weight. And I just entered in this vicious circle in which my weight determined again who I was. So another tip for anybody starting the weight loss journey: your weight, the number, even the way you look, do not equal your worth as a human being. And that should be fundamental and taught as the first basis to any client or anybody listening right now.
Yeah.
You are worth it now. You're just making a change for yourself to make your lifestyle better and make yourself happy. But gaining and losing don't mean you gain or lose in personality and as a human being at all.
That's a great point. And I know, because personally I got obsessed with the scale. Many people get obsessed with the scale.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I step on the scale, they're like, oh shit, what happened? And quite often people tend to give up. They tend to be like, okay, this is not for me, it's not going to work, because we get so obsessed with the number.
So obsessed.
Honestly, I don't know my weight right now. I don't. Last time I checked myself, probably like 90, 95. I don't even care really. Unless I'm preparing for a show, like I don't care about that number. I know, like
the goal.
Yeah. So mentally I'm in a good place. That's what matters. Because a lot of the things you shared with me as well, there was a lot of things which were like down to your mindset, the way you saw yourself, the way other people saw you, and that's really impacted you. And one thing I want to ask you now for you as a PT, like how do you connect and relate with your clients on this level, bearing in mind that you are that backstory? I mean, you came from obviously a weight loss background. How do you put your client at ease when they come to you and be like, Chiara, I need some help?
Look, I'm very approachable and I talk to everybody at the gym. I'm like literally the chattiest person ever. Like if you ask me a question, that's it. It's over for you. Like you're done with me for a long time. And I talk about all sorts of things that are also fitness unrelated, because I want to get to know people and make sure that the first thing I want to make sure that anybody who walks into a gym sees a friendly face, that they don't feel intimidated, and that they understand that they belong there as much as any of us do. It's got nothing to do with physique. It's people helping people out, first and foremost. To my clients, I hope that they'll agree.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
I love to make them feel comfortable and find a training method that works for their goals, but also their personality, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because there's no point, I think, because I've experienced it to myself, and obviously everybody is different, and I can gauge in a conversation with a client, even at the first consultation point, where they are at in their stage of commitment towards the gym and what they actually want to get out of it. So my plan will work towards making sure that they can adhere to the plan I'm giving them, especially training-wise, because many are new to exercise, and educate as much as possible. Make sure that if they have something to teach me, I am open to receiving that. I learn from my clients every freaking day. I've got someone that's really into endurance, absolute legend. Another one used to do bodybuilding. So I'm learning from him when we do exercises together, all the tips and tricks of when he was doing it. And we're working towards his weight loss goal, and he's doing so amazing that, you know what, Ollie, whenever I get a message from them, or we're at the gym and I'm literally rolling over laughing with these people, they are so awesome. That makes everything worthwhile. All the journey I've been on so far, struggling to keep 2 jobs and studying for my PT qualification, man. Seeing them smile and having tears in my eyes and see that progress is what makes this worthwhile, and definitely the best choice I've ever made.
That's amazing. And we're getting towards the end of it, but I've got so many notes. I've got 2 pages, and I'm going to the 3rd one now. Now, I'm sure, the vast majority of people are really into the whole weight loss thing, but I believe there are some sort of universal concepts when it comes to making a transformation, be it physical or mental. I always finish up my podcast with those things. What do you think are the 3 things which are extremely important for a transformation to be successful? If you got 3 things, if you got 4, that's fine. If you got even 5, that's even better.
I think first and foremost, find yourself someone that can help you out and that you vibe with. There is nothing worse than choosing the wrong PT for you just because you see him or her being super popular in the gym. If you don't gel, you don't gel, and you won't actually get the best out of your personal trainer or your journey at all. And that may actually set you back.
Okay.
The second thing I would say, be patient and persistent. It takes time. It really doesn't, don't compare your journey to someone else's. It will take however long it takes for you and for the commitment that you're willing to give to the goal that you're trying to achieve. The third one is learn as much as possible from everyone. And literally, at first you get such a thirst for knowledge, even what is a dumbbell? Like, you're so excited about this. Oh my God, what is this? Learn from everybody, try to get an education that goes beyond the time that you've got on the gym floor, and question everything about it as well. So, a lot of things that we read in magazines are not exactly science-based, and I think sometimes they don't help people actually find confidence, but keep them in their habits. And it's necessary that you question whatever you read about weight loss, muscle gain, running a triathlon, whatever it is that you are willing, your goal is. Read a lot about it. And the last thing, so that's 4, network. Something that was really missing for me when my brother moved away and I was still in this weight loss journey. It was my anchor. And it became so, I had to learn to stand on my own.
Yeah.
So prepare to be alone a lot because you're on this journey.
Yeah.
But that the people that will stick around and understand what you're trying to achieve will always be there for you, and no matter what. So find a network of people that you can rely on and inspire as well, because you never know who you're inspiring with every step you take every day.
Absolutely. That's brilliant. So number 1, get help from somebody you connect with. Because I always say, like, even with my clients and even the guys I worked online with, I work guys in Canada and Australia. Dude, we never met before, but we click. You know, having somebody you connect with makes it easier. Number two, you say be patient and persistent. I mean, I can totally relate to that. It's been 11 years I've been training. I'm patient and I'm persistent. I show up every week, 3-4 times in a week. It's the same thing. Just show up. And don't compare. I used to compare myself so much, and I'm sure, like, even with yourself as well. I want to be that guy, that muscle, that size of chest, and then you realize that, dude, you're different. Number three, learn from everyone, but question things, and that's something I do. And especially these days, we literally Google everything. And one thing I do now when I'm using Google, I use Google Scholar, which is pretty much like the academic articles. Yeah, it's academic articles, it's actual research, which is being funded so that people do some real science, not just an article from the Daily Mail or the Sun or the Mirror.
Let's not get started.
Very likely it's going to be crap.
Another podcast.
Which is really like, oh yeah, the Daily Mail. Don't get me started on the Daily Mail. It's terrible. And lastly, the network. Your network is extremely important. Like,
definitely.
I mean, immediate network for me right now. Like, me and my missus, like, we train together. She supports me when I go to the prep. It's hard. She's coping with me, and I don't even want to be around myself when I'm prepping. And having those people who understand you, who want to lift you up, who support you, will be like, you know what? I've been down that journey, and I know that at this stage, you're going to struggle. It's normal. It's part of the game. Okay, get through it. I'm here if you need to talk. And that's extremely important, and I believe is the foundation of every success. Actually, I keep having questions. I don't know, like,
Good.
Talk to me about the Kiki project. First of all, how did you come up with the name?
So
I'm curious now. I need to
know. The name is so important, and my nickname, a friend Nick gave me my nickname, Kiki.
Okay.
Because I also like anime, and he kind of started off from there. And we used to work together. He's a chef, and he just started calling me Kiki. And I was like, yeah, this nickname is gonna stick. Okay. Way better than Nwanda, realistically. Yeah, from what was the movie? One of my favorite movies of all time. With Robin Williams, and for some reason it's escaping me, but yeah, I saw it the other day. L'attimo fuggente in Italian, so it was great. And basically, yeah, Nwanda was not good fit. So Kiki, C obviously is my name, Chiara, but I thought Chiara would be too much for people to just digest, so I thought something they could understand but contains my name. And project, because at the end of the day, I've just started. I'm nowhere near finished, not just in my transformation, whatever is my mindset, my look, whatever it is, as a personal trainer now, which is so freaking exciting. And I wanted to share my love for food, what I've learned in my journey, studying as a PT and now with my clients as well. Yeah. I like to share stories about myself, and I try to be as open as possible because I've been silenced too long. And that's how the project kind of started. Okay. I wanted to just, get my voice out there and show people you can do it. Look, I'm no different than you. In reality, we're so concerned about looking at differences amongst each other that we forget we're two people. And we may have different approaches, mindsets, lifestyles, whatever it is, but we all have to start somewhere. Yeah. And I cannot thank enough. Last year I read a book by Dan Meredith, his book, and it inspired me, and I connected with him.
I forgot the name of his book. The book where he's got the picture, the cartoon with his bed. Yeah, I've got it, yeah.
Yeah, I loved it, and I connected with him on Facebook, and he was kind enough to give me some of his time and so many tips. The guy is a freaking legend, not just for business, but he's such an amazing human. Yeah. I cannot thank him enough, and I'll keep saying it, for the inspiration he gave me to then start the blog. And then on this journey, and you know what, my family, because I thought they didn't believe in me, and they did all along. My brother, first and foremost, who always believed in me, but my best friend. And the support I got from them in the past couple of years has been honestly unimaginable. And to see them so proud, I think that's the goal I wanted to achieve all along, and that's what makes it worthwhile.
That's amazing. And as a personal trainer, you're based in Sheffield, is that correct?
I am, yes.
Yeah.
I work at your gym.
Yeah. So, Chiara, you're based in Sheffield. You also coach online.
I do.
You've got online clientele base as well. I'm going to put your website, the kickkickproject.com. I'm sure people can reach you out from the website. I'm going to put that up as well in the podcast notes, in the description of the video if you're watching the video as well. One thing, what I mean, you did mention that you're preparing for a 10K. What are the goals you working towards now these days?
These days, I think my main goal is to be a personal trainer full time at the moment. You know, I still do 2 jobs and it's fantastic. You know, I get a lot out of the catering, but it's where I want to be long term. I want to be a personal trainer full time because now finally I've got a vision and a goal, which is being a personal trainer and help as many people as possible towards that goal. Physically, I'd like to. I don't ever want to compete. It's not something that's ever been on my mind. I'll just probably be working a little bit more on strengthening my core. That's a big goal for me because I've just found out I've got this degenerative disc disease. So on my lumbar spine, I have a little bit of an issue. So I can't lift as I used to because apparently I'm not 20.
Yeah.
So fine, we'll work with that and I'll just switch up my routine to make sure that my core is taken care of to avoid any backache as much as possible. Big goal there. And then I want to sign myself up for a couple of runs. I'm not supposed to run a lot, but because it's such a challenge for me to this day, I feel that the next step is actually entering the 10K. I just did a small 7K run when I was in Italy, the sunrise run, which was so much fun. But it just keeps me active and just working towards something different than just my weight. It's such a big mindset shift.
That's amazing.
Numbers don't matter as much.
That's amazing. And I always ask my guests at the end, like, what kind of goals you're working towards? Because we all have goals. I mean, you may look at a coach like, oh, they got it all figured out. No, we're always trying to get better. You need goals. I mean, in my program, like, I ask my clients, like, every day, write your goals twice a day. Because you need goals. That's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you fueled up. We're going to wrap it up, Chiara. I mean, it's been amazing. I've got so much stuff I've written down. And it's been amazing having you on the podcast. I'm going to link up all your social media page, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I mean, everything you've got, your website as well, the kickkickproject.com. I'm going to link that up in the description of the video. I'm going to link that up in the description of the podcast as well. If you need help, if you need somebody to talk to who's been in that situation, just like you, probably weight loss, you need support, you need somebody to talk to. You can see she talks a lot. Okay, so you need somebody to listen to you, to talk to, somebody to really lift you up. Feel free to reach out to her. I'm going to link up all the social media network for Chiara. And you listen to the podcast, I would gladly appreciate if you leave it a review. Let me know what you think of it. I'll start having female guests now because it's not just a man thing. I learn from everybody, any sex. So like, I like to bring people in who have something to share. I believe it's going to be valuable for you guys. So if you think that you deserve to be on the show, feel free to reach out, leave it a review, subscribe to it because literally every day there's a new episode on this show. So be sure to check it out. Chiara, thank you.
Thank you, Ollie. Thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you.
I'll see you very soon.
Okay, bye-bye.